Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
And hello, everybody, and welcome back to SportsGamer. The end times are upon us? No, that is just the very bright orange represented by our core division as we kick off the finals here tonight. The first 3 games between the KOST Wolves and the Silver Sword Griffins. Sin, on the elite side of things, we know we're down to the final 2. Last week, we crowned a Pro Division champion. And now this week, we will see Core and Light take the spotlight as we crown champions here in our winter season.
Yeah, I mean, it's always great when we get to, take a gander at some of the lower divisions, because this is where a lot of the elite talent come from. I mean, you consider, where teams like Mustakulta came from. They started from the bottom, a lot of these guys, and, they worked their way up. So we could indeed be seeing some future elite competition here in these finals.
Sin said, let's take a look at the take a gander here, and we're not going to look under the frock, but we are going to look at the playoff bracket that we have here. You did that. That was you. That's your fault. It's going to be one of those days, everybody, as we take a look at the playoff bracket, at least up through the quarterfinals. Of course, in the core division, a lot more teams happen to make the postseason. Last time we would have had any sort of significant coverage of this would have been in last week's wraparound, where we talked about the Final 4, Silver Sword against Rusty X, and the KOST Wolves against Latunakat. And well, as you can see, both teams moving on. Silver Sword in 5 games, KOST in 6. And of course, well, we know what the bronze medal match will be for this particular season. But Sin, I mean, no real surprise, right? A number 1 seed getting to the finals, but KOST Wolves have put up a really, really strong fight. We'll see, though, if maybe Silver Sword are just a little bit too much to handle here at this stage.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely look like a pretty dominant force here in the core division. Both of their previous series, they, dispatching their opponents in 5. I mean, that is, pretty conclusive there. But you look at KOST Wolves, they were able to dispatch, a team that did sweep their first round in 6. So, maybe they just have a little bit of something here, might be able to, kind of pull off an upset.
Well, with that, let us take a look at the lineups for this one. As for the KOST Wolves, we have Free Skillers, Marul, and Sin, there are some of those names that we were working on preparation-wise, and you see them, and it's just like, the American mind cannot fully comprehend. We have Takeable Axe and Pecky on defense, and Lazan in goal. On the other side, Martin Sillens, Smiha, and Latminx the front 3, with Linards and Kriteris on defense. And then, hey, wouldn't you look at it, it's another one of those names that no matter how much you practice it, sometimes the brain just skips out on it. But hey, we'll work on it in the next few minutes. But with that, let's take a look at the center comparison here for the playoffs so far. As again, we have Marul against Smiha. Sin, what stands out for you here?
I mean, for me, it's a bit of the point differential. I mean, it's pretty mad at this point. I mean, 65 points to 38, that really cannot be overlooked. And you'd think that the point advantage would be on the side of the Silver Sword Griffins, but it's not. It's that centerman from the KOST Wolves. He has been just absolutely insane for his team with those 65 points. Pretty decent in the face-off dot. It's pretty close between these two, but I'm really looking for Marul to be able to kind of, really be the kind of the catalyst for this offense here.
Yeah, like you said, the point differential is certainly interesting up to this stage, especially too. You would expect to see, Marul be on that number 1 seed, right? In terms of that point difference, but of course, it is Smiha and the Silver Sword Griffins that walk into this matchup as the top seed. Let's take a look now at that winger comparison here. As again, we have Free Skillers and HU against Martin Sillens and Latminx. And well, Sin, again, I'll turn it over to you. I mean, although I will say, the one notable thing here, of course, just the 6 games played for HU, but I mean, look at the points, thus far in those 6 games.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of insane. Just oh man, 22 points in 6 games, well over a goal per game. You're looking at free skillers who's near 2 goals per game. And on the flip side there, it's a bit of a different story. They're still doing incredibly well. It seems like Silver Sword Griffins are kind of playing a complete game. They're able to get that offense, but they're really looking to kind of shut things down, get some big saves from the goaltenders, but play that team defense. And that is often what you need to win in the championship setting. It's not just about the raw numbers. It's not just about raw points. It's the little things that matter at this case. And I'm really getting the feeling by looking at these numbers here that Silver Sword Griffins are going to have that kind of team defense style, playing as one, that could be the difference in this series.
Of course, up next, we have that defensive comparison through the postseason thus far. It's Takeable Axe and Pecky going up against Linards and Creatoris. And then again, we always kind of talk about, top teams, the higher up in the divisions you go. It's how involved are those defensemen typically and being able to help generate offense. And, well, I mean, across the board here, certainly all 4 of these guys have been doing that throughout this postseason.
Yeah, and I think, the slight difference here is that on the side of Silver Sword Griffins, it's both of those defensemen, putting up pretty good amount of points. Again, it's an interesting kind of games played differential from both of these two teams, really, when you look at it. Like, it's kind of interesting. They've kind of used a lot of subs throughout the course of these playoffs, but this is what they're telling us. This is what, their A team is essentially heading into the finals here. So going to be interesting to see how this sort of pans out and how, Linards and Criteris are going to be able to slow down what seems to be a really high flying attack of the KOST Wolves.
And of course, our final head-to-head, it is the battle of the goaltenders, Lazan against Gakori Gavesic. And Sin, you get a look at the numbers here for these two so far. Not the highest of save percentages that we have seen from teams in the postseason, from goalies in the postseason so far, but certainly, of course, good enough to get to this point. I think it's going to come down to what goaltender is able to take that next step up, though.
Yeah, it really is. And, it kind of weirdly, both of them each had about 2% higher percentage, 3 on the side of Gakko there. But yeah, a couple percentage higher numbers in the regular season. So playoffs, maybe it's, a lot more kind of quality chances that they're facing, maybe less total shots and things like that. But, in this matchup, we see it all the time. Sometimes if you just throw pucks on net, that's when the good things can happen. So really be interesting to see how these two teams are going to play and how they're going to look to beat these two goaltenders who were, fantastic throughout the regular season and still very solid throughout the course of the postseason.
So again, we are just a few moments away from the start of this series, our 4th tier out of 5, the core division, where these teams really start to begin that journey throughout the ECL tier. And, well, one of these teams will be crowned champion for our winter 25 season. KOST Wolves and the Silver Sword Griffins going head-to-head to determine a champion. And, of course, I mentioned it off the top of the broadcast, but we'll also, over the next week or so, be having the spotlight throughout the light division, our 3rd tier, and even the entry-level tier, tier 5, the Neo division finals coming up as well. And, well, all of it leads to our elite division finals, just a little bit over, 2 weeks away, 2.5, 3 weeks away now at this point, as crazy as that is. Thursday, February 20th, a live LAN final at Assembly Mustakalta and Parasite going head-to-head for that one. And I will be there on location. We'll see who else might be able to join me for that one. But Sin's certainly a big-time matchup there. A lot to play for, obviously, but for Mustakalta as well, trying to perhaps usher in a new era.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that it's going to be a tough matchup for them, as Parasite looked, virtually unbeatable throughout the course of the season, and their record reflected that. But again, we've seen a lot of kind of upset things happen. We think back to the first live finals you and I did, Tugi, in Helsinki, where it was I believe 3-0, or maybe it was just 3-1. And it was, Sawo storms back, forces that game 7. does lose in overtime in that Game 7, but it's a bounce away. That's what you got to think of this. So Mustakulta just got to focus on keeping it close, but we turn our attention here to the quarterfinals, KOST Wolves and Silver Sword Griffins. Toogie, take it away.
Again, game number 1. We play the first 3 games of this series. We look to crown a 4 division champion here again in the winter 25 season. Silver Sword, the home side for this one. It's quickly sent all the way down for icing. They don't see that within the opening minute. The KOST Wolves for face-off.
Yeah, I believe Leonard there was going for a kind of a big hit right there and ended up getting a slap shot instead, so they'll have to deal with another defensive zone draw.
Off the face-off. Quick shot on, looking for the deflection in front. Good save early. A fully Latvian unit of the Silver Sword Griffins. KOST Wolves represented near 50-50 splits. Czechia and Slovakia, and an opening goal very early on. Martin Sillens finds the back of the net for the 26th time this postseason, and Silver Sword take the early lead.
Beautiful display of patience right there by Silver Sword Griffins. They just wait, they're resetting, and then they find the man cutting into the zone with a little bit of speed. He's able to get behind the defense right there. I love that little turnaround. Kind of a nearly almost didn't work out for him as another man was right there. Could have easily picked off that puck, but Martin Sillens is able to get that, beats the goaltender up top, and Silver Sword up 1-0.
He has been red hot this postseason. Both wingers have for Silver Sword, and the number 1 seed have another chance here, and they score! 2 goals in a matter of seconds for the number 1 seed. And what a start here to this series.
Almost an identical play right there in the neutral zone with possession, then a quick pass as a man begins to make the skate up the middle. This time it's Shmiha, and he's just uncontested, gets one-on-one with the goaltender after splitting the defense. And you got to feel for Lazan in that situation. I mean, it's just needs a little bit more support from his team right there. They got to watch out for that. They just got beat on that, and they get beat on almost the same exact play.
Number 1 seed certainly looking like it at this stage of the game. 2 goals in under 4 minutes. 2 goals on 2 shots. KOST Wolves in on the counter, pass and across, and picked off by Greaterisk, who gets the puck back. Pass off the mark. See how the KOST Wolves respond. Break into the attacking zone here, and they do. 3 Skillers down low in the corner. Great move. Couldn't find the pass, though. Just a quick little head fake that totally sent the defender.
Yeah, I really like that play off the boards, although be careful there. Pecky there with a rough pass, and Griffin's going to have it.
For the one-timer, loose puck still in front, a shot on. And Lazan finally secures his first save of the game.
Yeah, he'll definitely take that after the chances that he's had to face thus far. Both of them just one-on-one situations against a skater, and that's so hard for a goaltender as you're just trying to get engaged into the game. You have to deal with a couple partial breakaways.
In the attacking zone, able to get it back, tries the short side. Loose puck bounces towards goal. That one's held.
I like that as you kind of went with that short side shot right there. I would have maybe liked to see that on the last sequence where, I think it was Skillers down there doing the head fake from behind the net. Went for the pass, but could have easily tested the short side as well.
There by Creatures to knock it away. Big outlet pass up to Martins. Wanted the quick one-timer. And to find Latmix, not able to really pull the trigger. KOST Wolves in. That shot deflected. Bernard's able to find, and here's Martin's big head of steam. 1 defender to beat. Tried the quick cut. Throws one on. Rebound. And You had takeable axe there, able to make a play on.
Yeah, Silver Sword Griffins are doing such a good job with their counterattack play. They're just continue to be able to find forwards in space.
Trying to find the feed in front. Second chance. They lose it. One timer from Becky that doesn't find its way through. Short side attempt. And they sit all over that one as now Lotniks into the attacking zone. Pull that one down in the corner. Yeah, goes all the way to the point. Nards tries the shot towards goal, deflected by the traffic. Still dangerous area. Took a couple of bounces back to the blue line. Puck in the corner. Down low, another attempt to drive to the front of the net. Defense all over it so far. Lotniks tried to keep it alive. Becky able to break that one up this time.
Just haven't really seen a lot of sustained pressure from the KOST Wolves so far. Not really any A-grade chances either. They've tested that short side a couple times, trying to keep Gakko sort of honest on that post, but he hasn't really faced the threat of any, high danger cross crease passes. The one that kind of went through it was intercepted by Kriteris, but they're going to have to do a better job of finding some different chances. But not only that, a bit more zone time. These neutral zone turnovers will not help, though. That one does go off sides, but really, Silver Sword Griffins have been owning the neutral zone so far, and that's really what the difference has been throughout the course of this first period. And it's a big reason why they're leading 2-0.
2:32 remaining here in the opening frame. Off the draw, Silver Sword back in control. A little bit delayed on that attempt, and just wanted that puck there, but well, you're gonna get it anyway.
Yeah, take the whistle, but yeah, I think him turning back kind of speaks to their mindset. He was almost willing to give KOST Wolves a free possession. You don't see that too often, especially in higher level gameplay. You'd rather just take the whistle and get a reset. But again, I think they trust their neutral zone play so much that they're perfectly willing to try to force a turnover.
Final minute here. KOST back into the attacking zone. Skillers in the corner. Tried to send it back around. Nobody home. We'll see if they attempt one more break-in, but Becky will hold, and that will do it. 2 quick goals for the Silver Sword Griffins, propelling them to a 2-0 lead at the end of the first.
Now it'll be interesting to see if they're going to, kind of keep up some of the same amount of pressure that they've had in the neutral zone, looking for those quick strikes, or are we going to see them kind of, go into a more defense-first attitude? But they have been able to shut down the KOST Wolves so far, and, with the KOST Wolves kind of struggling at times, some self-inflicted wounds too in the offensive zone, struggling to really establish themselves. Be interesting to see how they would deal with Silver Sword Griffins kind of going into a full collapse, full sort of trap game. I mean, weirdly enough, KOST Wolves do have a time on attack advantage. It kind of doesn't feel like that. They haven't done a whole lot with it, but you got to remember, the 2 goals coming from Silver Sword Griffins were just immediately off of the, from the neutral zone, getting a quick strike past the defenders. So it kind of does make sense. It doesn't really feel like the advantage should be in KOST Wolves' favor, and they only do have those 2 shots. They have to be able to start putting a bit more rubber on net. The 2 shots that they do have that are registered were from the same exact place, kind of testing that short side. And while that's not too bad, they have to find other ways to be able to create some offense here. Otherwise, they're going to get suffocated. And as time continues to be a factor, Silver Sword Griffins gain more and more advantage.
Second period underway. As always, the action brought to you by our friends at Kovalan Lakritsi. It is the first game of 3 that we'll be covering here on this broadcast in the best of 7 core finals. A mistake there and a I mean, hey, look, when you have a bunch of Americans on broadcast, the whole possibility of a fat finger on the on the producer side of things is always likely to happen. But thankfully, we didn't miss anything too crazy. But again, first 3 games of this series. It is our 4th tier, the core division. Of course, we'll also be covering the tier 5 finals, the finals in, all of the tiers. We always try to give that bit of an extra spotlight. We had our pro division final last week that, B Major was primarily on the call for that one. Sometimes the schedule doesn't quite line up, I think, the way we'd all like it to, but always try to do what we can here as they go for the big out. Timed well, and they score. The Silver Sword Griffins catching the KOST Wolves defense off guard yet again and making them pay for it.
Just beautiful execution right there. I mean, that's a 2-on-0, and you could almost feel the one-timer coming, and it really did feel like Lazen tried to make a good play for it, but again, it's just a quick strike seemingly coming out of nowhere from the Silver Sword Griffins, but this is a scary counterattack team, and they've caught the KOST Wolves napping now 3 times on the defensive end. Beautiful execution. 3-0 for the Silver Sword Griffins.
And Sin, you mentioned a 2-on-0 there. How often on those plays, regardless of what they're called, we know them more as Omahas on the North American side of things. How often do you see those be a 2-on-0?
Very rarely. It's usually, a breakaway and then both defensemen kind of getting back. In that case, it was a 2-on-0, and both defensemen just were really clamoring to even get into position to make a difference on that play. That's just, again, beautiful timing, beautiful capitalization, and beautiful execution.
KOST Wolves certainly have their work cut out for them in this one, down by 3. We approach the midway point of the second. Are in possession now. Takeable axe up ahead to freeze Skillers. Good protection. Certainly not able to find that pass, though. Defense all over it. There's another attempt in front. Maynard's able to take that one away. Skates it all the way into the attacking zone. Gets it down low. Fed back in front, they score. Lotminx finding the back of the net one more time. And the number 1 seed, Silver Sword Griffins, are running away with it.
Absolutely. And I was just going to I had this thought in the back of my mind where it's like, okay, they've scored all their goals off the counterattack, off these kind of quick strike plays. If KOST Wolves are able to adjust to that, will Silver Sword Griffins be able to put up the same amount of offense? Well, in that case, beautiful little, short cycle down low, and then they kick it out front to the right winger Lotminx, and he just buries it. It's there. There goes that complete little sliver of hope, at least in this one for KOST Wolves. A bit like, okay, if we can slow down the counterattack, maybe we can start crawling our way back to this one. But Silver Sword Griffins just look as dangerous in the offensive zone from a little triangle cycle with the man behind the net. And yeah, I believe timeout being taken here, but actually that was the Silver Sword Griffins pause going out, I believe. So not too sure.
Might have been a glitch. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a restart on the horizon. We'll see. Hopefully not.
Yeah, hopefully not.
Although the extra time might allow the KOST Wolves to get reestablished. I mean, Sin, you talked about the counterattack. I mean, right there, the time on attack in favor of the KOST Wolves. You wouldn't think so. And I've seen this glitch myself once or twice before, so we will need a restart here, unfortunately. As annoying as that is, but it wouldn't really be a broadcast without one, now would it? But we'll throw it back to us here because I'm sure they're going to have to restart and get everything reestablished, of course, again, halfway through this game, though. And Lotminx, a former top-tier player, of course, really helping propel Silver Swords to a big lead here in Game 1. We will be back once the teams get organized and get the action back underway. So stick with us. Game 1 continues soon.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi. Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
All right, everybody, we are back, and well, as you can see, the action is just about ready to continue. What these two teams have decided to do is essentially, right now, we're almost in the third period, and an early chance here for Silver Sword, and they score. And Sin, I think you can see why the teams have decided to do what we're going to do. We're going to play out the first period and go halfway through the second, since the issue popped up midway through our first attempt at game one. And for the KOST Wolves, I think the approach is the sooner this game is over, the better.
Yeah, absolutely. They simply cannot handle the quick strikes of the Silver Sword Griffins right now. I mean, just seems to be, maybe kind of demoralized at this point, and they continue to let, forwards get in behind them. Another example right there, man, splitting the defense and just walking in one-on-one with the goaltender. That has to be something that they clean up for game two, or else this series could be very short.
Again, weird as it is to think of, this is essentially the last full period of play that we'll have here. Almost consider it the third. Play halfway through the second, but space here for Martins. Lotmink's over. That's Miha a little bit off guard.
Yeah, he didn't have that 1T there.
Yeah, Maynard's there. Around, they find the defender. Creator is the big point getter. Right for them. Unable to hold the line this time. Be back into the attacking end. Lotmink continues. And to lead the way here in the attacking zone. Leonard's the shot, and just broken up. Great job there by Leonard's down the other way. Tries the breakaway chance in front, though. And they score. KOST Wolves on the board as HU finds the back of the net.
Yeah, just a kind of a simple play right there, going for the wraparound. I think that was actually poked off of his stick, and then fortuitously, Aju just in great position, able to pick that one up, go far side with it, and a little bit of a building block for the KOST Wolves here. I'm not too sure if it'll matter too much in this game, as 4 goals with the amount of time that they have left. Essentially, just a full period of play between these the two timings how we're running this. But again, it's a building block here. Get that first one. Don't allow that goaltender to get a shutout. And just, again, try to build something, build for the next game. But really, for me, it's still they got to clean up that defense.
There's a drive towards net. Just over the top. There's back over. Good save there. Lazan on the attempt from Lotminks. Tried to find 3 skillers for the break-in. That pass off the mark. Mistake there from Creator. It's a shot from distance. And the KOST Wolves strike again. HU one more time. I don't know if he necessarily expected that to go. But ultimately it does off the turnover.
Yeah, and I think he was actually trying to get the 1T animation as well, but it's Gakko right there just doesn't kind of readjust, and that's why you can't allow those turnovers to happen. That's a bit of a careless play by Freeze Skillers right there. Just tried to shoot it out. I'm not too sure if he was trying to get a dump over the top, trying to get another quick strike going, but just, excuse me, that one, Freeze Skillers is the one who intercepted it, but I believe that was Kritri's back there just kind of throwing that puck out, and didn't quite work out. And now, I mean, you never know. 3 goals? They still have a lot of time here.
Yeah, all of a sudden, we definitely have ourselves a game. This was looking to be pretty much over and done with at 5-0, but very interesting how quickly games can turn around here, as not able to maintain the zone, but Mark Sealan's probably just happy to not have turned that over and sent KOST Wolves down the other way. Maynard's in front. Good save by Lazan. Blacks has trouble. Leonard's the left defenseman is in. Big save. KOST Wolves getting those stops. We'll see if they can find another goal here. Shot on, stop there. 7.5 minutes to go, and tide's certainly changing a bit here. Good job by Marul to get back and help out the defense. That pass off the mark. Set up Silver Swords. Martins had the cutback pass. Defense all over him. The miscommunication there. No icing called. Marul in front on the short side. Freeskiller's just running out of space. Tries the short side again. And the stop. I got Corey. Bases.
Yeah, I mean, he's just been really fantastic at holding those points. He has a lot of trust in his defense, and you kind of think of the flip side there where, you know, for Lazan, it seems like at times he's been sort of sliding around his crease. Now, again, a lot of those situations have been one-on-one. Sometimes you just got to kind of choose a direction, but for Gakko, I mean, he's just been fantastic, you know, just holding that short side, making the saves that he needs to, trusting his defense are going to take away the passes and take away those secondary opportunities.
That puck wrapped all the way around. KOST back in control. Circling, sent in front, second chance as well. Just 2 minutes to go here in the first. Good interception by Freeskillers. One-timer from Pecky, good save. Puck is covered.
Yeah, KOST Wolves now really starting to kind of mount up the chances, but, you know, they are running out of time. Again, they only have a half a period left to work with. They really kind of needed another goal in this period to sort of, you know, really put the pressure on here. They still have some time to get it, though.
Corner fought on for KOST back in front, a loose puck. Good poke check by Pecky to try to keep it alive with full pressure still on. Maynard's up ahead. Still exhausted. Legs, they turn it over. Space, and a big save. 3 seconds left. And another close call for the Silver Sword Griffins. Sin, even though we will only be playing to the halfway point of this second period, KOST Wolves still have a chance here.
Absolutely they do. I mean, they really were applying the pressure right there, and it felt like Silver Sword Griffins maybe got a little bit overconfident at times. Some of these passes that they made, particularly on the breakout, it's just been, you know, turnovers forced by KOST Wolves, and some of them unforced as well. So KOST Wolves really, as they started to mount up the pressure for checking, have been able to get a lot more chances, and that's kind of the message that they need to sort of take with them into the next gate. And now it's a flip side of kind of what happened in the previous period and a half of play that we did before the reset. It's KOST Wolves being able to capitalize on the chances given them, whereas Silver Sword Griffins, the majority of time on attack, and they haven't been able to get those goals here. So kind of an interesting turn of events. And again, just 10 minutes remaining in this game number 1. But KOST Wolves, the way they played throughout that period, man, if they can get another quick one, try to just get one more, really put the pressure on, all of a sudden Silver Swords Griffins are in a really tough spot.
A 3-goal lead here. Again, we are essentially halfway through the third period. We'll be playing midway point here, and another chance in front for the KOST Wolves. You mentioned building blocks. They certainly have to be feeling better about their chances. If they don't necessarily pull off the upset here and comeback going, as Freeze not able to find that pass in front. Loose puck. And a crucial pounce on it. Kodrik Kavesid has had a lot to worry about upon this restart.
Yeah, he really has. KOST Wolves are just becoming opportunists here. They're seemingly jumping on every loose puck, and they're being so much more quick and decisive in the offensive zone. And they're just, even their forces right now are sort of working, and I think that's because they're just being a bit more quick with it. You know, they're not being too telegraphed. They're just making those quick plays, getting in position a little bit before the defense can get fully set up, and that's really been the difference here.
Loose puck is recovered. H2 in front, and another big glove save. 5.5 minutes to go, and if it wasn't for this goaltending performance, I'd be intrigued to see what the scoreline would look like.
Yeah, Gakko has really had to stand up here in the second half of this game and make some really big saves for his team.
Up the wall, Lot Minks across. Good stop by Lazan on the other side. The quick one-timer. Well, Martin Sealan's in a nice stick lift there. It's able to take that one away. Quick turnovers. Now under 4 minutes to go here in this game. Miha over the shot from distance by Lot Minks. Shot by Kurters to take this one away. Finds Martins. He'll drive one around. Good hip check. Marul, 2 minutes to go here. KOST not able to find the break in. This one sent down and around. Simply no one there in time. Big hip check. Becky keeps it alive. As we are about to see the end of this game after a restart following a glitch, and indeed that will do it. As you can see, there we go. We have the goalie quit to bring this one to an end. So your final score is 5-2 in favor of the Silver Sword Griffins here in game number 1. Sim, we saw a strong pushback from the KOST Wolves, but a slow start was something that they simply could not bounce back from on this occasion.
Yeah, and it just, again, they need to tighten that up. Pecky and Takabalax really kind of have to, just be more in communication. It's just way too many times they allowed a forward to kind of split them or get behind them. You think about that 2-on-0 after the Omaha play, but really it's about being able to hold their gaps and keep your eyes out, keep the peripheral vision open, because the second you start to see that forward creeping up, you cannot allow him behind you, no matter what. Even if there's not a pass available, even if you think you might have a chance to pick that off, just always got to be making the safe play and really be cognizant in that neutral zone. Try not to get caught flat-footed, because we saw those first 2 opening goals from the Silver Sword Griffins. It's just everyone on KOST Wolves was just caught flat-footed, and they just skated right through them with a simple pass and cut into the middle.
So again, that is game number 1 in the books. We still have games 2 and 3 to go on this broadcast. So we'll be right back. Game 2 starting in just a matter of moments.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
Behind the defense right there. I love that little turnaround. Kind of a, nearly
postseason. Both wingers have for Silver Sword, and the number 1 seed have another chance here, and they score!
Man begins to make the skate up the middle. This time it's Shmiha, and he's just uncontested, gets one-on-one with the goaltender after splitting the defense. And
able to get it back, tries the short side. Loose puck bounces towards goal.
They easily tested the short side as well.
Breakers to knock it away. Big outlet pass up to Martins. Wanted the quick one-timer. Tried the quick cut. Throws one on. Rebound. Had takeable axe there. Get to, but always trying to do what we can here as they go for the big out. Timed well, and they score. The attacking zone gets it down low. Fed back in front, they score. Time. And the number 1 seed, Silver Sword Griffins, are running away with it.
Absolutely, and I was just...
We're almost in the 3rd period, and an early chance here for Silver Sword, and they score. Over the better.
Yeah, absolutely. They simply cannot handle the quick strikes of the Silver Sword Griffins right now. I mean, just seems to be them.
Again, weird as it is to think of, this is essentially the last full period of play that we'll have here. Let's consider it third. Continues. Lead the way here in the attacking zone. Leonard's the shot, and Leonard's down the other way. As the breakaway chance in front, though, and they score.
Aju just in great position, able to pick that one up, go far side with it, and a little bit of a building block for the KOST Wolves here. I'm not too sure.
Killers for the break-in, that pass off the mark. Mistake there from Creaturus, a shot from distance, and the probably just happy to turn that over and sent KOST Wolves.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
All right, everybody, we are back, and well, as you can see, the teams have taken to the ice game number 2 here in our core division. Final is about ready to begin, and indeed has, as the KOST Wolves home side on this one, looking to bounce back after dropping game 1. Silver Sword Griffins, we're still watching from their perspective. First 3 games of this series being played here tonight. We'll see if the KOST Wolves can get off to a better start. Again, caught on the back foot early on and just dug themselves too deep of a hole to get out of.
Yeah, I really like the latter half of that first game, but yeah, they have to get off to a better start. Cannot allow those forwards to get behind them.
This one broken up at the blue line. Maynards didn't like what he saw. We have Silver Sword. Reset. Shot on doesn't quite go through. Space now down the other way. Free Skillers has it poked. Kept alive. That one all the way back to the point for Peck. He blocked down. Numbers here for Silver Sword on the counterattack. Not able to do anything there, of course. I mentioned it in game number 1. Silver Sword lineup entirely Latvian, as you get the mix of Czechs and Slovakians on the other side, and that's what we see here throughout some of these tiers. Of course, towards the top, people are like, oh cool, so basically everyone's Swedish or Finnish, barring a few exceptions, but it is called, the E in ECL does stand for Europe for a reason.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, so far KOST Wolves done a much better job, particularly in the neutral zone.
Wrap-around bid there for Lotminks. Vigorous at the point. Arjun's the shot. Paddled away by Laza. Another attempt there. Look for Smiha in front on those deflections. A big talking point all throughout the CCL season. The only banned ability, any form of big tipper, but we still see plenty of deflection goals. Wax. For the pass, they try to get it back to the other side and still offside.
Yeah, and we have seen KOST Wolves struggle at times with their zone entries. They have seemed to be a little bit disorganized, and that case right there, I think they're just trying to, beat the trap right there, and it was a kind of a rough pickup for Skillers.
Have another frozen puck here.
Yeah, at least the good news for KOST Wolves, they're not down on the scoreboard by this point in the last game. Yeah, by this point in the last game, it was 2-0, maybe even 3-0. Oof.
Big save there. Maybe the biggest of the night so far for Gakarika Vasic.
Yeah, and he has had to be really sharp here between the last period and a half and, a little bit throughout this first period too. Some pretty good chances that the KOST Wolves have been able to string together, but he's really done a great job of, just being able to make the big saves when called upon.
He's kept in the attacking zone here. Short side attempt. That was broken up. Happening's fighting to try and keep that puck alive, not able to do so. Here comes Maru for the KOST Wolves, sends one across. Not able to find a way through. Of course, he has been key player for this team, although you could argue it's Lazan right now. Another big save. Doing well when it's not a breakaway or 2-on-0. Early stages of a game. For Maru, just an unbelievable performance so far here in this postseason. Wasn't able to contribute as much offensively in game one as he would have liked. So a very solid defensive effort. Deflection bid from Minx down the other way. Scores the shot on the one-timer. And the KOST Wolves have their first lead of the series as Echu finds the back of the net yet again.
Yeah, he has been the hot hand right now for the KOST Wolves. Picks up another one right there. Just a beautiful rush play. Love that, you know, just kind of slowing up, hitting the trailer. And for Maru here, as you mentioned, you know, maybe not finding the score sheet as much as he would like, but I'm noticing, particularly in this one, he's acting almost as a third defenseman there. Just an extra piece of insurance to make sure that Pecky and Takeable Axe do not get beat up the middle once again. So he's a bit slower to get up in the rush, but actually benefited them because it opened up that kind of winger-to-winger one-timer high in the zone.
And another goal for Echu. Played just 2 games in the regular season, as both of these teams have had to rely on some depth throughout the playoffs. Deflection bid for free skillers off the post. Minx trying to work his way through. Takeable Axe there. Does send it down the other way. Ultimately, it's an icing call.
And just about a minute left in this first period, and if you're the Silver Swords Griffins, you know, you do want to try to get one before the period ends. You're not in dire straits quite yet, but, you know, you're starting to get that little bits of doubt creeping in. It's like, wow, it was really easy to score in the last one, and right here so far, we haven't been able to get too much going, and especially no rush chances.
Skillers tries that short side. Another face-off here for the Wolves. 7.3 seconds to go. Plenty of time to try to double up this lead.
Absolutely, and they're kind of throwing everything in the kitchen sink at the Silver Sword Griffins here. And that's exactly what you kind of have to do. You know, not every goal is going to look the same. So you have to just continue to try to find little bits of space, little tiny weaknesses here to try to beat a goaltender on the skill level as Gakko, because he, in that first one, he was just phenomenal, particularly in the latter half when KOST Wolves really began to apply the pressure. And he's still been good in this one, had to make, you know, some pretty good saves at, you know, high zone one-timer. Those are really tough to deal with there for goaltenders. He was able to get a piece of it, just as you can see, not able to slide over all the way. The aim wasn't perfect for Aiju there, but at the same time, it's not everything is going to be. It was a really kind of close pass to get that one-timer off. But if you're the KOST Wolves, you got to be feeling good about that period. You know, you don't have the time on attack advantage, but everything is pretty even. It's not too big of a differential. The face-offs are really close, and you've completely erased, so far, the Silver Sword Griffins' quick strike abilities. You haven't allowed the forwards behind you. You've been limiting them in the neutral zone. You've been slowing them down in the neutral zone. And we really haven't been able to see the Silver Sword Griffins even get those speed cut plays going. It's just not there right now. So really great adjustments from KOST Wolves so far. But it's a long game. It's a long series. They have to keep it going.
We get ready for the second period. As always, the action brought to you by our friends at Kovalan Lakritzi. Silver Sword Griffins up 1-0 so far in this best-of-7 series, our core division finals. Fourth tier of the ECL ladder as a quick shot off the post, and that puck rifles out of play. We'll set up Silver Sword. Face off here, not able to win it. If you're not able to find that pass, Martin Seelens with a bit of space on Pecky. Go down low. Minx sends one in front. Dangerous moment. Puck still alive. So Lazan is able to pounce on it.
Yeah, a couple close calls right there. Silver Sword Griffins, you can see they really want to get their offensive zone cycle plays going. That wasn't how they scored the majority of their goals in the last one, but we did see that they were dangerous with those chances. So far, Lazan has been up to the task in the defense, team defense, I should say. He's done a great job of just really keeping things to the outside.
Deflection bid and a save by Lazan. Interception here. Free Skillers trying to lead the way. Space in front, and with Marul in that position, you'd expecting a higher quality chance to happen. Ultimately didn't develop. And another cover here for Lazan.
Yeah, he picked it up, and I'm not too sure what he saw, but he immediately put it on the backhand, so he didn't have a chance to get the speed to be able to get that little bit of extra separation. He had about a half step on the defender. If he would have caught that in stride, could have gotten the full step, you know, a chance to kind of cut around on the forehand, and that would have been a tremendous opportunity to beat Gakko there. But yeah, you said it, not the highest quality opportunity that you expect to see. Is another shot from distance by Silver Sword Griffins is turned aside by Lazan.
Yeah. Full pressure, nearly active. Lost to get it out when they did. As this one's going to go back to the neutral zone. Still trying to find space. Wasn't able to find follow-up pass nearly halfway through this game. Certainly different. We saw last game, but here's space for Free Skillers, and he's denied. A great read. I got Gorigavessit as, you know, maybe noticing a bit of a trend from Free Skillers to try that short side. He makes another save there.
Yeah, and that's the, they haven't had too many breakaways. I believe that's only about the second one for KOST Wolves throughout the course of this series, and both times they have gone to the back end right there, and Gakko has been able to turn them both aside, but it's even at that, he's waiting for that forward to kind of make the move. He has been tremendous just kind of following the plays in. He doesn't panic on those breakaways. He just remains calm, makes the move when he needs to, and is, you know, really being able to shut that down when KOST Wolves do get a bit of space. He's done a great job making the saves.
Pass goes all the way to the point. One-timer, another big save. Pitcher just continues to find space. Lotminx tried the pass in front. Lax does a much better job, and I think you can speak to that for the KOST Wolves' collective defense here in this game. Much more on point, ready to go. Shot to flex, picked up, sent back across.
Man, if Lotminx had been ready for that, he had the short side open. I just don't think he was expecting to get that puck pickup where he did.
Turnover here. Leonard's back in control. Quick out for Martin Sillins. Looking, stepping, and scoring. A phenomenal effort that sees Silver Sword Griffins tie this game at 1 goal apiece.
Again, it's the quick strike right there, but he has to contend with defenders, and he doesn't have much stamina. I think that needs to be recognized by both the goaltending and the defense right there. Maybe a couple panic pokes right there from takeable axes. He really didn't have the speed, so the stamina to make any speed move. It was, you know, it seemed like it was almost like obvious that he was going to try to make some cuts, trying to weave his way around as the defender right there. I think you just got to kind of get in front of him. Don't try to knock that puck loose yourself, but wait for support. You had 2 other guys coming in, but he tries to make the play, gets stripped away, and Lazan swims a little bit in his crease, and Silver Sword Griffins are able to tie it up.
Chance there, denied. Martin Sillins, another goal here tonight. One-timer blocked down by Leonards. Tried the quick out again. That time Martins didn't really like what he saw, and it will result in an icing call.
And so for the KOST Wolves, again, that wasn't the worst situation, at least of you know, at least having people back on that last sequence that did lead to the goal. I think they just played it a little bit wrong. So they have done a good job of, you know, still kind of limiting those opportunities. And, you know, case in point on that last one right there, there was no way that slap pass was going to lead to anything, even if it did connect.
offside call here, and 1 goal apiece. We'll see how much of a defensive battle we happen to have. Face off. KOST not able to maintain control off the tie-up. Makes bumps. Puck sent ahead for freeze skillers. Waiting for help. Poked away. Creaturist, they do recover. Wanted the one-timer at the point, and makes causing a heck of a lot of issues there. And sends that one down low. Trying to hold on to it. That one-timer picked off. Aju's again, final moments here of the second period. A much more highly contested game here than what we had in game number 1. Big outlet pass to Martins off the mark and an icing call. 3.1 seconds. That's plenty of time for the KOST Wolves.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, you're not going to see him pull the goaltender because it could be slapped in with that amount of time left. So we'll see what they got off of this draw play.
Just couldn't quite get the shot off. Second period comes to a close. This game incredibly tight compared to what we saw, as I mentioned, in that last game. Here we go. Big third period coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to be fair, in the last game, it was a bit tighter to the eye test rather than the score, but because that second half really was almost dominated by the KOST Wolves, besides that early goal that they let up immediately. But, getting those 2 goals back, plenty of chances. And in this one, they've really tightened up defensively, and that's why you're seeing the score so low. They need to do a bit better of a job at times, in the offensive zone. I feel like they're forcing a couple passes here and there instead of just sort of waiting for the opportunities to present themselves and finding shooting lanes, trying to get some traffic in front and go for those rebounds there. It's been several kind of plays where they've tried to make a pass right to someone who's covered or, on the rush. I've seen Marul a couple times instead of just, waiting and letting the defense back up because they're going to kind of do that. He's tried to maybe force a pass in before his teammate was in great position or when his teammate was covered right here. So yeah, KOST Wolves still got a bit to clean up, but I really like the adjustments that they've made on the defensive side of the puck.
Third period underway. Next goal will be a big one. It's just a matter of who is going to find the back of the net next as Lazak is able to cover. Big win for Silver Sword, a convincing win. KOST started to battle their way back. A little bit interesting down the stretch. Struck first here in this game, just haven't been able to find a tying marker and an offside call here.
And this is, we're going to see a bit more of that as this series continues to tighten up. Both of these two teams really trying to patrol their blue line here. And, KOST Wolves in that first game, again, struggled with this as well, trying to get some of those clean zone entries and once again having a bit of trouble doing that. But they do get a nice win off the tie-up.
Hold it in along the half wall. Work back to Becky at the point. Deflected off the post from Modro. One-timer, they score. A great follow-up for the KOST Wolves as they regain the lead. It's 2-1.
Beautiful job. It starts really from the face-off and gaining that zone, and then again patience with the puck. And one of the rare occasions that we've seen Gakko make a mistake right there. He just goes the complete opposite way, and it's, he is kind of playing the odds right there, but it's not like him to sort of make the move before he sees it come to fruition. It was brilliant play by Marul right there. He kind of turned around, looked like he was going to go to the forehand, and that opens up a couple things. Is he going to take the shot, or is he going to go to his left winger for the one time? Instead, he kicks it back, a blind pass to Aju right there. As something interesting happened, I'm not too sure what's going on.
Waiting to see what they're gonna look to do here, and well, we indeed might be, destined for yet another restart from the looks of it. Not quite sure what that particular issue was. Couldn't quite tell from our perspective, but it is a 2-1 lead for the KOST Wolves, and it looks like it's in the same issue that happened in the last game from the host side happened for the non-streaming team, and KOST Wolves this time were just one player got stuck on a black screen and couldn't see anything. So,
Yeah.
we will have yet another restart here coming up. But again, the KOST Wolves do have the lead. We have about half a period to play. We'll see what the two teams elect to do on this restart. So again, stick with us. We'll be back. Game 2 continues, hopefully shortly.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
back and going to continue on from this point. Again, it is a 2-1 lead for the KOST Wolves. Sim, we'll see if the restart happens to favor either side.
Yeah, this is technically the third period as well for those watching.
There's a good chance early on there. Yeah, just not able to find the back of the nets. There's the shot at the post. Caught Lazan searching. Back. Point another shot on. Saved.
And Lazan is dead tired right now. That reprieve was desperately needed.
3 skillers down the other way. Tried to send one across. Guard's able to deny that chance. Sid mentioned technically the third period of play here. Fortunately, have well, been 2 for 2 on restarts. A nice block there. Becky, but Sword back in control, not able to find their way to the neutral zone there. Second attempt. Feed in front. Defense is there. With that, we are halfway through. Martins tried the shot in front. They score. As Smiha picked off his own teammate's shot and finds the back of the net on a second attempt.
Yeah, very fortuitous shot pick off right there. And that's one where you're actually thankful that there wasn't a whole lot of speed on that. Unfortunately for Lazan, he got caught standing up, then tried to go down and opens up a little bit of space just over the pad right there that Smiha is able to sneak in. And Silver Sword Griffins once again have tied this game.
2-2 is the score line now. We will see as a shot attempt there is stopped. 8:44 to go in what is technically the third period. Silver Sword not going away quite yet. Martins back. One-timer, they score! It can happen that quickly. The Silver Sword Griffins find the back of the net a second time. And out of nowhere, it's a 3-2 lead.
Yeah, out of nowhere indeed. And I'm a little shocked. I thought I just saw that goal was unassisted off of a quick little one-timer pass. Uh-oh. Oh, what a pickoff right there by Pecky. So, you know, defenseman must have kind of got control of it and then had it fall off the stick, maybe incidental off. Either way, this is such a tough spot for the KOST Wolves to be in, particularly, you know, following a reset here.
One-timer from the point, just wide of the post. As they tried the quick out, Martin's not able to get the pickup. We'll have a face-off down the other way.
Just what a quick turn of events, and this is why Silver Sword Griffins are just so dangerous. They seemingly almost can make something out of nothing. Didn't really look super dangerous that last play, but all of a sudden they're able to get the puck, open up a one-timer. Speaking of one-timers, that one, D-to-D, barely fought off by Gaka, who now gets the cover.
Another chance for Marul in front as well. Five minutes left. KOST Wolves now trailing. Again, obviously, it's the third period, but technically the first period. So there won't be that slower final 30 seconds to work with. One-timer blocked. Skillers in front for Marul. Bouncing puck. Guard's able to settle it down. KOST back in control. Gotta get that offense going here consistently, but having trouble gaining the line. They finally do. Free Skillers. The attacking zone draws the penalty. And that is going to be the center. Smiha heading to the box. And a big opportunity for the KOST Wolves.
Huge, must score situation right there. Beautiful bit of puck protecting. We've seen that coming out from Freeze Skillers all throughout the course of this. Whenever he has that puck wide, goes into that little kind of L skating dance off of the boards, and goes towards the net, puck protecting just by using his body to shield it. They're unable to get the face-off win though.
Maybe playing with a bit of fire here. Does get the puck down the other way. Wanted Martins on a short-handed bid. Certainly being on the power play is one way to get that slower final minute. It's a one-timer, they score! The hot hand, he's red hot. HU scores again. The KOST Wolves tie it on the power play.
God, it really feels like he's scored every single goal for the KOST Wolves here, and maybe he even has. I mean, he's just been phenomenal throughout the course of this series, helping his team stay alive here in this game by tying it up off the 1T, and that's what you got to do as a team. If you get an opportunity like that on the power play, you have to find a way to capitalize, especially when down by 1. KOST Wolves have tied it up.
Off the face-off, they might not be done. The shot from the point there is denied. I'll rule the interception. No moments of the period. And we, barring a miracle shot here, are heading to overtime in game number 2. Next goal wins.
Crazy game, just back and forth all the way across. It was KOST Wolves led, so Silver Sword tied it up. KOST Wolves led, Silver Sword ties it up, and then Silver Sword took the lead, and it really looked like the KOST Wolves may be on their way to a quick 2-0 down in this series. But it's that power play goal right there from Aju, which is able to tie things up and force this overtime. But it is the playoffs. The only thing that matters is a win. There's no points. There's no loser points, I should say. So if you're the KOST Wolves here, you have to be able to tie this series up in this situation. You got a great goal from your leading scoring winger, and you got to find a way to repay him. We haven't seen Marul really kind of take over on the offensive side of things with the crazy amount of points that he's had throughout the course of these playoffs as well. It's maybe a bit surprising, but for Aju, I mean, he came in, he only played 6 games before today, yet he had 22 points. Only played 2 games in the regular season as well, had 4 points. They must be very happy with what they see out of Aju here, and man, he's given them a performance that they so desperately need in this series.
Here we go. Overtime coming up next. Goal wins. Will it be a 2-0 series lead for Silver Sword, or will the KOST Wolves be able to bounce back here? Quick one-timer and an early save. Kakarika Vesit forced to really be on his toes here to continue.
Yeah, might as well continue to feed the hot hand, and that's what they keep looking to do. I mean, that gold 1T right there is just begging to be used, and man, they found a lot of creative ways to use it so far.
Battle for the puck. Freeze Skillers just not able to hold on to it. Movement here. Backhand shoveled on and forcing the save out of Lazan.
Yeah, not too much of a dangerous opportunity. However, if that puck bounced loose, there's another Silver Sword Griffin right there to be able to maybe pick it up, go for a quick wrap, or send it back out front. So pretty fortuitous right there that Lawson is able to hold on to that from. Didn't look too dangerous, but that was kind of a knuckle puck.
Sent in front. A big save there. Point blank opportunity for Smiha. Three Skillers trying to get going on the counterattack. Rule will drop it back. One more time and a big save. Gonna drop that shooting percentage down just a little bit, but still a pretty astronomical number at this stage.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it feels like every time you shoot in the puck, it finds its way into the back in the net, and yeah, he's just been phenomenal right now for his team. But someone else on this team does need to step up and get a big goal. You know, Marul has been good, especially on the defensive side of things. He's gotten some assists here and there as well, often the primary ones when he's sending it over to Aju here. But yeah, KOST Wolves, they do not want to fall down 2-0 against this team. Nice pass.
Oh, he scores! Catches the goaltender off the post, and the KOST Wolves take game number 2 in overtime.
What a goal right there by Free Skillers. And once again, it's a quick turnaround here. And yeah, Gakko's just not quite on his post right there. It looks like he's trying to, you know, almost bait it to the middle. That maybe it's that quick little cut catches him off guard. There's Free Skillers did make a move to the middle and then immediately back outside and let that one go. But yeah, for Gakko, he didn't really have it too much to fear from the middle of the ice or on the other side. It was really Free Skillers all alone right there. And he makes the Silver Sword Griffins netminder pay for coming off of the post right there. And what a win for the KOST Wolves. It's a great job of really capitalizing on the opponent's mistakes first and foremost. I mean, it was looking dire right there, but to get that power play with 2 minutes left and, you know, oh man, scoring on that Aju once again, that really kind of seemed to be the turning point. And think about that big save that Lazen made there in that overtime as well, too. Yeah, I mean, that could have been over at that point.
Again, this series now tied at 1 game apiece. We have one more game to go here on this broadcast before the series continues on a little bit later this week. So we'll be back. Game 3 coming up. Now a 1-1 series. Let's find out who will have that advantage.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
In the neutral zone.
Wrap around bid there for Lotminx. Here's at the point. Martin's the
point in the last game. Yeah, by this point in the last game, it was 2-0, maybe even 3-0. Oof.
Kept in the attacking zone here. Short side attempt. Not able to find a way through. Of course, he has been key player for this team, although as Aju finds the back of the net yet again.
Yeah, he has been the hot hand right now for the KOST Wolves. Picks up another one right there, just a last one. And right here so far, we haven't been able to get too much going, and especially no rush chances.
Skillers tries that short side. 4th tier of the ECL ladder as a quick shot off the post, and that puck. Martin Seelens with a bit of space on Pecky. Go down low. Lockmink sends one in front. Dangerous moment. Puck still for Martin Seelens. Looking, stepping, and scoring. Off at 1 goal apiece.
Again, it's the quick strike right there, but he has to contend with defenders, and he doesn't have much stamina.
Off the post from Marul. One-timer, they score.
We've seen Gakko make a mistake right there. He just goes the complete opposite way, and, you know, he is kind of playing the odds right there.
Yeah, just not able to find the back of the nets. Here's the shot at the post. Caught Laza. Martins tried the shot in front. They score.
Up, then tried to go down and opens up a little bit of space just over the pad right there that Shmiha is able to sneak in and still.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
And we are back, everybody, one more time. It is game number 3. KOST Wolves and the Silver Sword Griffins, our Tier 4 Championship Series in the core division. As the KOST Wolves are able to battle back after a rough start to the series to take game number 2 in overtime, and a big save there early on. They look to get right back to their scoring ways. Oversword in on the attack. Puck taken away. Nature the hot hand in this series so far. Ben's able to seal him out. Get there, one back. A rule to feed in front. Tried to find Freeze. Was the overtime hero of game 2. Yards back. Arkinstill's tried to rip one on. Becky able to get in front of that shot attempt. Rule unable to hold on to it through the double team pressure. Chris unable to hold on as well. A scramble in the neutral zone. Over the line. This puck over to the corner. Richard continues to battle. Tried the short side. Look at this. It makes a big save there, but then you mentioned that overtime winning goal, and I think we've seen it from both goalies. Sometimes the angle's just a little bit off compared to what we might have expected.
Yeah, and that's why we continue to see KOST Wolves going back to the well. It wasn't working early on in that game, number 1. They tried it about 3 or 4 times looking at that short side, and Gakko was there every single time, but you can see why they keep kind of going back to it, is that, you know, it has worked occasionally, and really, you want to just throw those opportunities so the goaltender cannot predict every time, you know, what you're going to do with the puck. You know, you've shown that one-timer threat, particularly from Aju there. And, you know, if you keep, you know, those quick passes, quick shots, that's going to pull the goaltender off the post sometimes.
Tried that short side right there. Glove side. Still a scramble in front. Puck chest wide of the post. Back in front again. And a good bit of offense here for Silver Sword. A triple deflection in front. Lazan had no idea where to go on that one. Fortunately for him, it wasn't towards goal by the end of it.
Pretty wild start in this one here, but I've really liked KOST Wolves. I mean, that first game, it really seemed like, oh man, this could be a quick series, but their response has just been phenomenal.
Held in the corner here. Back to the point. Eucharis looking for the 1T. It was dangerous. Now Freeze. Skillers tries the short side as well. And you know, even if these aren't going in, it's going to keep a goaltender honest. Keep him to the short side. You can start looking for those chances back across the other way. And they wasted no time going for it. Marul finds the back of the net. And the KOST Wolves strike first.
Unbelievable. What a cycle down low right there, waiting for their opportunities. And Marul, that tiny bit of space right there is all he needed to chip that one home past Gakko. And the KOST Wolves strike first in game number 3. It is 1-0.
So a great way to start for the KOST Wolves. And you mentioned it, game 1. Oh, if anybody knew how far this series would go. Now the KOST Wolves proving why they are a worthy adversary in this particular series. Down the other way, this one knocked loose. Becky bumped off the puck. One-timer! Smiha not able to get all of it. Azan makes the save.
Yeah, made a really great read on that one too. And that's a tough situation when the one-timer's coming from the high slot like that. Really, the shooter can go either direction. Lazan picks the right one in that situation, is able to make that save. But yeah, as you said, the shot didn't have a ton on it. But with his movement there, he may have still gotten it, even if the shot had a little bit more heat.
One thrown on there. May have deflected. Lazan again able to make the save. 37 seconds to go. We're in the opening frame, game number 3. Off the face-off. High up. Silver Sword ends up with it. Eucharis at the point. One-timer, they score! They looked for it earlier, couldn't find it. This time, Martin Sillins, the back of the nets, is nearly driven through on that one-timer. And we are tied at 1.
Yeah, really had some heat on it. Not a whole lot Lawson could do in that situation. The pass was so quick. The shot was even quicker, and he looked like completely out of position, but you saw him. He was kind of moving towards the center of the ice, and then all of a sudden that pass came, and he just could not slide over in time. Silver Sword Griffins have tied it up at 1. The back and forth affair between these two teams, carrying over from the last game, continues here in game number 3 as the first period comes to a close.
For the KOST Wolves, a very strong start, but not able to hold on to the momentum fully. The Silver Sword tied up late in what is continuing to develop into a very close and competitive series.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we just have not seen the Silver Sword Griffins do, or, you know, be able to pull off what they pulled off in that first game. I mean, they had so many different quick strike opportunities coming off of those, you know, cut plays or Omaha plays, and credit where it's due. KOST Wolves have done a tremendous job of cleaning that up, and because they absolutely have to. If they weren't able to, I mean, they would be looking at going down 3-0 right here in this game, but they, you know, they battled back. They were able to get a late tying goal in the last one, win it in overtime. And here, once again, it's close, competitive. I mean, it's about as close as it gets. The time and attack, the shots, face-offs in favor of the KOST Wolves so far. So Malrul has been getting the best of Shmiha so far. Possession does play a big factor in this one, but, you know, it's really what we're seeing in this one. The story being good offensive zone cycles, which is leading to the offense here. So we'll see how these two teams want to adjust defensively to that, while still being able to play a good neutral zone trap game.
Here we go, second period underway. As always, the action brought to you by our friends at Kovalan Lakritsi. Game number 3 of our 4 division finals. KOST Wolves, Silver Sword Griffins tied at 1 win apiece through the first 2 games of this series. And a quick shot and a goal. The KOST Wolves getting back the tally that they gave up right at the end of the first period. As we've called him the hot hand, he's the red hot hand in this one. HU scores yet again for the Wolves.
Yeah, that is an absolutely unreal feed from Malrul right there. I thought for sure he was going to just rip a short side on, trying to kind of just jam that one in, but he has been a phenomenal playmaker in this series. Picks up yet another primary assist to his favorite target, Aju right there, who buries it. KOST Wolves take the lead here early on in the second.
The Silver Sword doing a great job in that first game. You know, maybe forced to focus back in a little bit down the stretch, but they have been facing quite the pushback as this series has gone on. Laz on a series of saves there. So what happens on this offensive zone draw for the Griffins? One-timer, they score! I guess sometimes you just have to say screw it and shoot the puck as hard as you can. From a near flat-footed scenario, the Silver Sword Griffins have tied this game up. Oh, okay, big deflection there. That makes a little bit more sense.
Oh, okay, yeah, I was wondering, I'm like, how the heck did that beat Laz? And he seemed like he was in terrific position for it, but yeah, the deflection right there by I wonder who was it off a defender? Because I thought it was Lotminx taking that shot, and he was the one who got credit for the goal.
Yeah, I think it was the man in front. Regardless, we have a tied up hockey game here yet again. 2-2 now the score. KOST Wolves have had a 1-goal lead twice. Been unable to hold it. As a good effort there by Freeskillers. Orgavisit again able to make the save. Act very close. Score obviously tied. And again, Sin halfway through game 1. It's like, oh man, that's freaking Silver Sword Griffins in 3 is what we were thinking at that point. But not so much.
Yeah, you know, for KOST Wolves, this is kind of really reminiscent of the last game. It's just back and forth. There is another opportunity from the slot right there. That time is Shmiha, but that one's blocked.
Space for three. Skillers again tried the short side one more time. As they continue to try to keep the goaltender honest. Watching that short side, and he slips up for a moment. Look to take advantage. H2 working his way through, sends it across, they score! For the third time in this game, the KOST Wolves are able to grab the lead. It's 3-2.
Just beautiful job right there, waiting for the perfect opportunity to send that one through. You see the right defenseman there, Kurito. He's the closest to the man, but no, excuse me, actually, was that? Oh, no, yeah, it was indeed him. He just, you know, it's a good position to be in with that handedness. For some reason, when I first looked, it looked like a right-hander, but yeah, no, Kuritori's there in great position, but that's why you see people go for those passes all the time. You're able to kind of just force that through, and that one's a really tough angle right close to the goal. I mean, even if he picks that off, there's a chance that kind of hits the goaltender or hits the post and incidentals it into the net right there. So, again, great response coming out from the KOST Wolves to take the lead.
Oh, we will see again if there is bounce back goal for Silver Sword. Hey, we are going to make it 3-for-3 in terms of a technical issue that's going to force a restart. I guess the benefit this time, Sin, is we are pretty much directly halfway through this game, so that should make things easy. But yeah, 3-for-3 tonight in terms of an issue forcing a restart. We have been so lucky at times, and tonight is not one of those nights in regards one of these restarts. So, well,
yeah.
You know the deal at this point, because we've had to do it a few times. We will throw it over to a break, and we'll be back as the action continues. Again, 3-for-3. We're just it's good. We'll be right back. Stick with us.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
And we are back, everybody. Another go around here in terms of continuing on, as we are technically now midway through this game. It is the second period of play. As this puck goes down low, of course, we got the score updated for you here in a moment as well. There you see 3-2 now in favor of the KOST Wolves, as we await to see what the result of this will be. Of course, we've had some rough luck tonight in terms of some restarts and the technical issues, of course, that unfortunately we've seen, especially on the European side, all season long. Martin Sillens breaks his way through and draws a penalty shot. Sin, it's where they found so much success in game one. We haven't seen it as much since, but a chance for Martin Sillens here.
Yeah, they get the initial poke, but it's not enough to knock them off, and they get the trip. So we'll see what Sheelans does here
on the penalty shot to try and tie this game. And a big shot by Lazan. Had the patience to stand tall. And a huge missed opportunity for the Griffins.
Absolutely massive right there.
Has a second opportunity to get that puck on. And still battling the puck loose. In front on the backhand, tried to get it towards goal. Our attacking opportunity now. Freeze Skillers wanted the pass back. Defense breaks it up. Good stick lift. Sent in front. Save. Loose puck. Goalie was out of the way. Shillings again. Sends it down low. Kurters looking to keep it alive. Good hip check by Marul. Bumped off the puck, though. Team able to recover. Strong forechecking pressure here from the Griffins. And free Skillers. That's intercepted. Bruce over the line here. There's the circle. One-timer. Lazan not able to make that recover he was looking for. Silver Sword here will reset. Final minutes. And what is technically the second period here. A restart, and Lazan forced to make another save. Face-off win here, Sin, will give Silver Sword full pressure.
Yeah, I was just going to bring that up right here. Big opportunity for them. They have looked pretty good on the forecheck. They've been very aggressive turning those pucks over. They get it.
Good shot. Loose up by Lazan. Final few moments. Stepping in. One-timer save. Loose puck is cleared out. And that will do it. For the second period, the KOST Wolves able to maintain their lead 3-2 heading into the third period.
Yeah, really had to hold on. We'll get another look at that brilliant save off of the penalty shot. That was bouncing. Really thought that might have been able to bounce in. The spinning glove grab by Lazan right there is able to make sure it stays out. That was tremendous chance for the Silver Sword Griffins there. And they had a few others right there that Lazan had to come up big on. So he's really been a great player for them in that second period, and needs to do the same thing here in the third. Look at the shot differential. It was 7 shots by Silver Sword right there. Just really pouring the rubber on net, because they do not want to fall down 2-1 after getting up to that 1-0 series lead, looking so good, doing it, losing in overtime after a late tying goal in game number 2. If they drop this game as well, that's a whole lot of momentum going the KOST Wolves' way, and they'll find themselves in a position that they have not found themselves in this post-series, which is, you know, trailing in a series 2-1.
So third period is ready to begin. Who will have the 2-1 lead heading into the continuation of this series? A shot on, stopped by Lazan. Another chance, hit the outside of the post on a wide open net. If that's not the wake-up call for the KOST Wolves, I don't know what will be.
What a play by Lotminx right there. I mean, really kind of baiting out the short side, making sure Lazan holds there, and then somehow finding Martin Sheelans there over on the other side for the one-timer. It's, as he said, just hits the outside of the net. And yeah, KOST Wolves here got to be careful in their own defensive zone.
Space. H the short side and rode up towards the collarbone there. Stop.
And he and Free Skiller has really been doing that all game, and you're going to see them continue to do that as well because, well, they've caught Gakko a couple times. Most of the time he's been able to make the save, but again, it's really about keeping the goaltender honest so that you can open up those other sort of plays.
There's Martin Schillen stepping in. All the way around. Kreteris at the point, avoiding some pressure. Circles again. Now Lotminks, good patience. Across the buffered shot from Sheelan's loose puck again. Is covered. I imagine we'll see the timeout here.
I would be surprised if we don't. I haven't seen the pause come out yet, so pretty interesting here.
Just don't want to risk any sort of disconnect at this point, but I would when you have the lead. A clean face-off win, and hey, they're going to get the puck out. It worked for him. As Skillers tries to go low, it's broken up. And back, the spin in front. Great efforts. As Lotminks will send this one in. This is there. Tries to go back in front. Now the one-timer, they score! An absolute rockets from Leonards. And the Silver Sword Griffins have tied this game up at 3.
Yeah, beautiful job by the left defenseman of the Silver Sword Griffins to get in position right there for that one-timer. Goes far side, able to beat Lazan right there, tying this game up. And that's Silver Swords Griffins have just been so dangerous, really, in all facets here. You have to worry about one thing, and then some other things open up, and that's what they continue to do to the KOST Wolves and continue to keep games close. 13:29 remaining here in the third period, and we are all tied up at 3.
Off the draw, Silver Sword back in on the attack. Bouncing puck that Free Skillers is able to find. Space, Marul not able to find that pass. A reminder, this is the third period of play after a restart. Offside here on the Silver Sword Griffins. Of course, we went to overtime in game number 2. Could very well be on our way.
Yeah.
Here yet again.
I was just going to say, it kind of has the feeling of it, the way this game's kind of gone back and forth here. It always seems like Silver Sword just able to find a way to get right back into it.
Good patience there. Achu finally finds that pass down low, back to him. Skillers now in that far side corner. Trying to hold on, he does. Achu back in front, they score! The back and forth nature continues. The KOST Wolves re-grab the lead again as Marul able to beat the goaltender in front.
And how the heck did that puck find its way to Marul right there? And I mean, how did Aju find him? I thought for sure that was going to go to Free Skillers there in front. Or maybe that was Aju in front. Either way, no, indeed it was Free Skillers, but it finds its way all the way to Marul there, and he is untouched, able to sneak that one by Gakko. And it's 4-3 now for KOST Wolves.
Again, for the Silver Sword Griffins, they keep fighting back. The KOST Wolves not able to hold on to the lead, but have never trailed in this game. There's a blocker save there.
Correct me if I'm wrong, we have not had a multi-goal lead for either team since game number 1.
Certainly sounds right, but also it doesn't based on how that first game went. There's Lotminks not getting what he was looking for there, I'm sure. Take relax, will slow things down here. And not able to find the pass, delayed offside call. What was going on there? H.U., that one sent back across. And now down the other way, the spin from Marul. I mean, it did catch the defender, but it also threw his own teammates off guard.
Yeah, I was just gonna say he was just trying to. Every pause, man.
That's a great reaction.
I'm wondering if it has to do with what Aju did on that last one. We saw him kind of go down into the L1 and then like did a wild stick lift. I'm hoping he just had a lag spike and we're not stuck on anyone else getting a black screen or anything else of that nature. But yeah, on that play, Marul making that spinorama move, kind of thinking the defenseman's going to make a quick move on him as he approaches the blue line. But yeah, it does, kind of make free skillers there go offside as he was just looking to gain a lot of speed and be available for a cut pass or a handoff.
This one sent around. Short side attempt. Wazan able to pounce on it and cover. 3:36 to go in regulation. The KOST Wolves still up by 1. Face off. Set play! We're tied! One more time. The Silver Sword Griffins able to get back into it.
They just don't go away. Martin Sheelan's just a terrific job. Sneaks in. He is just uncontested back there. The easiest tap-in goal that he's ever had off of a face-off play. And it's 4-4 here. And oh man, time was expiring. KOST Wolves, they were just so close to being able to close things out, but it happens in a heartbeat, and that's how the Silver Sword Griffins operate, whether it's off of the rush or in the offensive zone. Everything they do just seems lightning quick, and they tied this one up in a hurry.
This is the 4th time that the Silver Sword Griffins have been trailing by 1, only to tie the game. They have not been able to grab the lead in this one. But it is increasingly looking likely that the next goal is going to win this game. Has a chance, the one-timer for the 5th time. The KOST Wolves get the goal right back. And then who else would it be?
Yeah, and you can feel that coming right there with the 3-on-2. It was a terrific hip check back in the defensive zone. That's where it all started. And it was Lotminx in a winded get-up, and that opened up all kinds of space. The first attempt to exit the zone did not quite work, but Pecky follows up on it. Eventually gets the puck back, sends it up to Aju, and kicks it over to his center in Marul, and he finds him right back for that one-timer. 1 minute, 20 seconds. No slow time for the Silver Sword Griffins to tie this one up, or they're down 2-1.
Uh-oh. That pass off the mark. Becky gets it up. Breathers tries to step up. Final few moments. And how unlikely did it seem after a near blowout victory for Silver Sword, the #1 seed in Game 1. They have dropped 2 straight games. The KOST Wolves have a 2-1 lead in this series after the first 3 games.
Absolutely unreal. I mean, that's resilience right there. It's so easy to get disheartened after going down by 5, but you know what? After that reset, they kind of recollected themselves. They stepped back into it, and they really put up a fight. They didn't make it super close. They still lost by 3, but it gave them a little bit of momentum. It gave them that belief that they could absolutely come back and make a difference. Thinking back to Game 2, a late lead from the Silver Sword Griffins. After, much like in this game, always playing catch-up, always tying it, they got the go-ahead goal, but then took a late penalty. KOST Wolves capitalized on the power play and then got that game winner. And in this one, it was KOST Wolves, they never relinquished that lead. It was only tied up. They never had to play from behind. They were able to hold on, and in this yet another back-and-forth affair, win it 5-4. And you said it right, Toogie. The next goal feels like it was going to be the winner, and right as those words exited your mouth, who else but Aju? He's able to get that 1T going once again, and the KOST Wolves have a 2-1 series lead off the back of 2 just ridiculous back-and-forth wins.
Certainly unexpected. I think that's my big takeaway from this, right? Like, you have the #1 seed in Silver Sword, putting up 5 goals in game #1 and winning that game in pretty convincing fashion. They were a little bit shaky after the restart, I think for some other teams, and again, penalty shot save there as well.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy, but you don't often see teams able to battle back after a shaky start to a series, and for the KOST Wolves to get the overtime win and then to never end up in an overly dangerous situation here in game 3, right? They never trailed. Silver Sword refused to go away, but ultimately they did run out of time. Just a great start to this series, all things considered, for the KOST Wolves, and it puts the pressure on the #1 seed now when this series continues.
Yeah, I'm sure it didn't feel like to them that they were never in danger, but yeah, when it comes to the scoreboard, you know, never trailing, that's always a good thing. But yeah, the Silver Sword Griffins, you can just see how dangerous they are, and now it's, you know, maybe their turn to try to clean things up on the defensive side of things, because they just could not, you know, build. They kept tying the game, but then they always had to keep playing from behind. That's a tough way to have to play the game. So for the Silver Sword Griffins, you got that first win. It almost felt a little too easy, and well, rest assured it was, because the KOST Wolves able to storm back and win 2 very tight, very close games in back and forth affairs, and they have that 2-1 series lead now because of it.
So again, that is just the first 3 games of this series. Later on this week on broadcast, we'll be covering the rest of this matchup. And of course, you see, it's actually going to be as soon as tomorrow with a 2045 CET start time. Looks like myself and B Major on the call for that one. Okay, I wasn't sure if that was confirmed or not, but there we go. So now I know. I'll be waking up early tomorrow as well. Fair enough. We'll be covering the rest of this series then right back here tomorrow. And of course, we're also going to be looking to cover our light division and neo finals as well over the next week or so. So keep an eye out here at SportsGamer for that. And again, I mentioned it. It all leads to our elite division finals as well. The live LAN event at Assembly in Helsinki. Mustakalta taking on Parasite Thursday, the 20th of February. Again, we'll be covering the full series there to see who is the top dog in the elite division. But this week, our focus, our spotlight is on some of the lower level tiers, but as you can tell, the action still very much worth paying attention to. A very exciting start to the series. And again, we'll have the rest of it for you tomorrow. But that will do it for us here tonight. Thank you for joining us here at SportsGamer. We'll see you tomorrow for the conclusion of this series.
Welcome to the SportsGamer Health and Performance Program. Nice to have you here. Here you have a large amount of different workouts from Wellnet, but also material just exclusive for you gamers. In your sessions, we focus mostly on neck and shoulder mobility, back health, and concentration. So give it a try and let us know what you think about it.
Behind the defense right there. I love that little turnaround. Kind of a, you know, nearly
Postseason. Both wingers have for Silver Sword, and the #1 seed have another chance here, and they score!
Man begins to make the skate up the middle. This time it's Shmiha, and he's just uncontested, gets one-on-one with the goaltender after splitting the defense. And you
able to get it back, tries the short side. Loose puck bounces towards goal.
They easily tested the short side as well.
By Creatures to knock it away. Big outlet pass up to Martins. Wanted the quick one-timer. Tried the quick cut. Throws one on. Rebound. And you had takeable axe there. Get to, but always try to do what we can here as they go for the big out. Timed well, and they score. The attacking zone gets it down low. Fed back in front, they score. Time. And the #1 seed, Silver Sword Griffins, are running away with it.
Absolutely, and I was just...
We're almost in the third period, and an early chance here for Silver Sword, and they score. Over the better.
Yeah, absolutely. They simply cannot handle the quick strikes of the Silver Sword Griffins right now. I mean, just seems to be...
Again, weird as it is to think of, this is essentially the last full period of play that we'll have here. Almost consider it third. Lotming continues. Lead the way here in the attacking zone. Liard's the shot, and Leonard's down the other way. Nice the breakaway chance in front, though. And they score.
Aju just in great position, able to pick that one up, go far side with it, and a little bit of a building block for the KOST Wolves here. I'm not too sure.
Killers for the break-in, that pass off the mark. Mistake there from Creaturus, a shot from distance. And the probably just happy to not have turned that over and sent KOST Wolves down the other way. Leonard's in front. Good save. Blacks has trouble. Leonard's the left defenseman is in. Big save. Racing called. Foul rule in front on the short side. Skillers just running out of space. Tries the short side again. And the stop. Way around. KOST back in control. Circling. Second front. Second chance as well. Ahead. Still exhausted legs. They turn it over. Space and a big save. We are essentially halfway through the third period. We'll be playing midway point here, and another chance in front for the KOST Wolves. Loose puck is recovered. Aju in front, and another big club.
Really big saves for his team.
Wall, Lot Minks across. Good stop by Lazan on the other side.
Particularly in the neutral zone.
Wrap around bid there for Lot Minks. Here's at the point. Martin's the
point in the last game. Yeah, by this point in the last game, it was 2-0, maybe even 3-0. Oof.
Stepped in the attacking zone here. Short side attempt. Not able to find a way through. Of course, he has been key player for this team, although as Aju finds the back of the net yet again.
Yeah, he has been the hot hand right now for the KOST Wolves. Picks up another one right there, just a last one. And right here so far, we haven't been able to get too much going, and especially no rush chances.
Skillers tries that short side. Fourth tier of the ECL ladder as a quick shot off the post, and that puck. Martin Sillins with a bit of space on Pecky. Go down low. Sends one in front. Dangerous moment. Puck still for Martin Sillins. Looking, stepping, and scoring. Off at 1 goal apiece.
Again, it's the quick strike right there, but he has to contend with defenders, and he doesn't have much stamina.
Off the post from Monroe. One-timer, they score.
We've seen Gakko make a mistake right there. He just goes the complete opposite way, and it's, he is kind of playing the odds right there.
Yeah, just not able to find the back of the nets. Here's the shot at the post. Caught Lazan. Martins tried the shot in front. They score.
Up, then tried to go down and opens up a little bit of space just over the pad right there that Shmiha is able to sneak in and still.
We will see as a shot attempt there is stopped. 8. Martins back. One-timer, they score.
Nothing. Didn't really look super dangerous that last play, but all of a sudden they're able to get the puck, open up a one-timer. Speaking of one-timers, that one, D-to-D.
Gotta get that offense going here consistently, but having trouble gaining the line. They finally do. Free Skillers. The attacking zone draws the penalty. Be able to bounce back here. Quick one. Movement here. Backhand shoveled on and
back out front, so pretty fortuitous right there that Lawson is able to hold on to that from. Didn't look too dangerous, but that was kind of a knuckle puck.
Sent in front. A rule will drop it back. They do one more time and a big.
They do not want to fall down 2-0 against this team. Nice pass.
He scores. Catches KOST Wolves. Take game number 2 in overtime.
This is quick shots. That's going to pull the goaltender off the post sometimes.
Tried that short side right there. Glove side. Still a scramble and a goaltender honest. Keep him to the short side. You can start looking for those chances back across the other way. And the KOST Wolves strike first.
Unbelievable. What a cycle down low right there, waiting.
Down the other way. This one knocked loose. He bumped off the puck. One-timer. With it. This at the point. One-timer, they score. Of the nets is nearly driven through on that one-timer. And we are tied at 1.
The affair between these two teams carrying over from the last game continues here in game number 3 as the first period comes to a close.
The first 2 games of this series. And a quick shot and a goal. Look, the hot hand. He's the red hot hand in this one. HU scores yet again for the Wolves.
Yeah, that is an absolutely unreal feed from
For the Griffins. As the one-timer, they score. Near flat-footed scenario. The Silver Sword Griffins have tied this game up. Oh, okay, big deflection there. That makes a little bit more sense.
Oh.
KOST Wolves have had a 1-goal lead twice. Been unable to hold it. It's a good effort there by Freeze Skillers. HU working his way through. Sends it across. They score.
Just beautiful job right there, waiting for the perfect opportunity to send that one through. You see the right
In the European side all season long, Martin Sillins breaks his way through and draws a penalty shot. He shot. Try and tie this game. And a big shot by Lazan for the Griffins.
Absolutely massive right there.
Has a second opportunity to get that puck on. Goes over the line here. Circle one-timer. Lazan.
And they have looked pretty good on the forecheck. They've been very aggressive turning those pucks over. They get it.
Good shot. Good shot on. Stopped. By Lazan. Another chance. Hit the outside of the post. Now Lot Minks. Good patience. Go across. The buffered shot from Sheelan's loose puck again. And is there. Tries to go back in front. Now the one-timer, they score! Corner. Trying to hold on, he does. HU back in front, they score!
That was HU in front. Either way, no, indeed it was Freeze Skillers, but it finds its way all the way to Maru there.
Hey, we're tied one more time. The Silver Sword Griffins win this game. Has a chance, the one-timer for the fifth.
That's where it all started, and it was Lotminx in a winded get-up, and that opened up all kinds of space. The first attempt to exit the zone did not quite work, but
top 2 straight games, the KOST Wolves have a 2-1 lead in this series after the first 3.